Onto logistics. The metro-focused on-demand delivery firm Glovo is venturing into a segment known as Q-commerce, or quick commerce if you want to use its full term. In a nutshell, the latest service edition aims to deliver pretty much everything you can think of within cities in 30 minutes or less. But in order to achieve that, the Barcelona-based firm has now developed dark stores. These are essentially warehouses where retailers can house goods that are only sold online. Glovo's partnered with Unilever, Nestle and L'Oréal for the service and supermarket chains like Walmart and Carrefour. During the pandemic, Glovo's had to meet increasing demand for next-day deliveries, and it's been looking to improve service delivery with the aid of machine learning. All right, then let's get an update on how delivery firms are doing in some frontier markets across the continent. Rodrigo Ali is the Regional General Manager covering Eastern Europe, the Middle East and Africa at Glovo. He joins us live on the program tonight. Rodrigo, good to have you on the program. Can you give us a sense of what business has been like in the 8 African countries you operate in across the African continent? Is food delivery still king, or has the mix of revenues diversified a bit?
Well, I mean, the last year has been a quite intense year. I mean, first of all, we had to adapt our operations immediately. You know, when the global outbreak, when the global pandemic exploded, we really had to adapt our operations, first of all, to comply with the local regulations to ensure that we were, working hand to hand with governments. And the second one, adapting, to the reality, to ensuring that we were having all the safety measures in place to make sure we were working properly with the couriers, with the different restaurants, platforms, and also, of course, delivering the best service to our customers. The reality is like, yes, we as Glovo, we don't only position ourselves on the food delivery space. Even before the global outbreak, we were expanding really fast on categories such as the ones that you were mentioning as quick commerce. And reality is like, yeah, the global pandemic has accelerated certain categories such as groceries, where we have seen increasing penetration across all our markets in Africa. I would like to highlight 2 markets. One is Kenya, where we have a groceries penetration already above 30%. And also in Morocco, where actually, given the local regulation, we could only operate in other categories that were non-food related because all restaurants were actually shut down. So yes, there has been a shift, and we believe that this demand is here to, it's gonna remain, and this dynamic is gonna stay there.
Give us a sense of how this quick commerce model is working, at least within the Kenyan context, because I mean, it's your typical crowded urban environment. Addressing systems are not exactly the most developed around here. So how do you set up that quick commerce logistics chain in a place like Nairobi?
I mean, first of all, it's having strong partners in place. I mean, in a market like Kenya, we have been partnering with strong partners such as Naivas, such as Carrefour, and many other retailers. I mean, having that partnership is key, because those brands, at the end, we offer them an ultimate solution that we're going to be the last mile delivery, and we're going to be doing their deliveries in less than 45 minutes. I think that's a quite unique value proposition that Kenyan consumers have been receiving quite well from day one. And the second area where actually we're exploring as well is like, we know that we can eventually do even ultra fast delivery, launching our own dark hubs, let's say our own dark stores, where we could eventually place our deliveries and deliver under 30 minutes. So we are seeing those 2 opportunities, basically working with retailers and partnerships across Kenya, and we keep expanding on that through new partnerships, and then also doing, our own operations ourselves as well, to even going further on the ultra fast delivery.
Kenya, of course, did introduce a digital services tax, 1.5% on the gross value of the transaction, effective from the 1st of January. How are you applying that across your operations?
I mean, we're complying with the local regulations, so that's a tax we're complying with, of course. But then we're not passing this cost anyhow to to any of our users of our platform, and we keep ensuring operations keep running as usual, and we're not making any changes, as we believe affordability in times as the ones that we're living right now, it's key, and we passing this cost to consumers is not currently responsible for something we should do.
So whose balance sheet is it landing on? If it's not going to consumers, is it on your balance sheet or your suppliers?
It's in we're in investment mode, so now we're looking at we're looking at it as an investment. We believe that the return of this, with the growth we're seeing, we will see it as an attractive investment. So we're looking in the long run, not only in the short term.
Indeed. So you're in 8 countries in Africa. Your most recent additions are Ghana and Uganda. Walk us through the opportunity you saw in those markets.
I mean, first of all, after the successes of markets like Morocco, Kenya, and Cote d'Ivoire, we realized, hey, in Africa, there's many opportunities that we should tackle. And where we realized there were really, a lot of markets where the competitive landscape, the on-demand delivery market was not saturated, and we consider that as a blue ocean. We consider that as a great opportunity for us to go there and expand, because demand was there and we had to keep expanding. Plus, also we identify a lot of synergies between the markets we were on. No? As you were saying, we recently opened Uganda and Ghana, and the reality is that we have a lot of partnerships that are shared across the region. Also, we have many other services like that, the customer service that, for example, the customer service and the different live operations that we provide to our users in Ghana and Uganda, for example, are provided by Kenya. So we find a lot of synergies that allow us to give us the scale to launch them fast and become the leader on-demand delivery player on these markets.
Nigeria, notably absent from that particular list of countries. Why is that?
So no, Nigeria is a market that we're actually exploring. It's a very interesting market. It still, gathers all the 3 points that I was mentioning before. We believe that competitive landscape, still is a good opportunity, and there's a space for a player like Glovo to enter. There's a lot of synergies as well, and also we're seeing a lot of appetite for different partners. So we see it as a big opportunity. It's a big market. A lot of we have a macro urban, with Lagos, and we believe that it would be a natural expansion for us to go there at some point.
When would that some point be? Second half of the year?
We're looking at this year, to be honest. So hopefully in Q2 or early Q3, we would like to be there, definitely.
Okay, one last question for you. Dark kitchens. This has emerged as an interesting niche in other markets, in Europe and in some parts of the United States. Might that have growth potential in the 8 countries that you're operating in across Africa?
Yes, as long as, we see, again, that partners, the restaurants that we're currently operating in, they see also this is an opportunity to keep expanding their operations. Now we're in a business of tight margins, and restaurants as well. And at the end, it's like we're identifying and working hand to hand with them to make sure, as long as, they want to keep expanding because, the on-demand delivery trend, they keep having, their kitchens saturated. And as long as that opportunity arises, it's an opportunity that we're exploring actually with some of our partners. Currently, we don't have any dark kitchen in Africa, but actually it's an opportunity that we're already exploring, and we're making progress towards that.
Rodrigo Allier from Glovo, thank you very much.